Welcome back to Soundtown, episode 2. Today we have a very special treat for you guys later. Coming up, we have our friend Sal Fratto from Elephant Jake.
Do you think it's Fredo or Fratto? We should have asked him.
It's Sal Fratbro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, yeah.
If he put his long, luscious hair into a man bun, it would definitely be Sal Fratbro.
Yeah, so we got him coming up. Lots of good stuff. We're going to discuss James Gandolfini's love of the Green Day album, Dookie.
His new band Elephant Jake, who are great, just put out a brand new EP. We talk about the process behind writing those songs, recording and releasing that. We highly recommend you check it out. Looking Good, Feeling Good by Elephant Jake.
All right. Now, get ready. Here comes the interview.
Buckle up. Keep
Your
hands and feet inside the... I guess our vehicle would be a tour bus, huh? Double-decker? Enjoy!
And I'll put in the time to get where I'm going, but I can't hear a word that I'm singing. You're always shouting me down, you're always shouting me down, you're always shouting me down, you're always shouting me down.
Nice shirt.
Yo.
You know, James Gandolfini loves that album.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's been talking about it lately. We got to talk about that today.
Let's talk about it right now. We're going right now.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, James Gandolfini loves that. Loves that
You
album.
mean this guy? Wait a minute. You mean this guy?
Of course.
Yeah.
Picture of him.
Oh my God.
Sal, are you big in The Sopranos?
Yeah, my girlfriend Jackie and I just watched all of it in quarantine, beginning to end.
Yeah. Have you seen it before?
No, it was my first time ever watching it.
I just watched it for the first time recently, too, because Eric and our other bandmate, David, are obsessed with it.
Unbelievable, right?
It's very...
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, well, you come from an Italian background, right, Sal?
Oh yeah, my whole family from.
From my experience watching it, it was like so many stereotypes brought to light, but they're so true.
Oh, they're all true. Yeah.
And there's so much comedy lying underneath, like how dramatic that show is. But it's very, very good.
I
For
love
sure.
Polly Walnuts. I like Bobby Bacala too.
I like Pussy Malanga.
Oh yeah.
I always was partial to Christopher Maltasante.
Christopher.
Yeah, the king.
Oh wait, I have to find this. Somebody edited one of the Smashing Pumpkin album covers. I have to find it before my phone dies. I saved it. It's worth it. The bid is worth it. Boom. Can you see it?
I love that. Oh man.
Christopher!
Yeah. Rihanna. She's the best.
Can you see it?
Oh! Wait, what did it say?
And they photoshopped him sitting in a little plane.
Is this Sopranos instead of Green Day?
Oh my goodness, I love that.
It's by Meth Syndicate on Instagram.
Heck yeah, I gotta look that up.
Dude, how are you living?
Dude, I'm living pretty good. I've been doing pretty well, just hanging out and trying to. I mean, now that like things they're not lightening up at all, but I'm trying my best like to see family and be safe about it, of course. But How about you guys?
Just hanging out.
Yeah, we're here in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, Jersey.
Stuck at home.
Yeah, they tell you all you can do is like stay home. So that's what we're trying to enforce. If that's all we can do to help. You're in New York State, right? Whereabouts?
Orange County, like an hour north of the city.
That's
Cool.
where Los Angeles is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Cool.
Very cool. I'm excited. So I want to know about this podcast.
Dude, it's just Eric and I had talked about doing a podcast, but it was only words to us. Like, it'd be cool just to have a reason to talk to people because nobody wants to talk to us otherwise. No, I'm joking. And then a buddy of mine from college said, hey, I'm going to put together a podcast network. All of my friends are going to put together podcast shows. Would you want to do one? I said, oh, now I have like the motivation to actually record one. And Eric and I had talked about doing it. So now we're doing it. And again, we just want to bring to light all of our friends who make music and share it with the world and kind of like I have so many questions about how you guys and Elephant Jake operate that
Sure.
it's more just for me. If anyone is listening
So
and
very sick.
they hear something cool, that's a bonus. But this is more just for Eric and I to get the inside scoop on how everybody does their thing.
Yeah, of course. I'm really excited to like share some info and also just chat it up.
Yeah, dude, because I can't remember the last time I saw you in person, but it's always great to see you guys. I'm trying to remember the first time that we did meet.
Oh,
I remember. Yeah, that was New Brunswick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, was it? Do you remember that, Sal?
Yeah, dude. We played the Twizzler Factory with you in New Brunswick, and
That's coming back to me.
so
Have a
much
Good
fun.
Season was also there, yeah.
Yeah, and who's the other band? They're so good.
Was it Rest Ashore?
It was, right,
Okay.
Sal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were so good.
Yeah, they were really tight.
That was such a fun show. Isn't it crazy?
Was that 2016, 2017? That was a while ago now, wasn't it?
17, yeah, over 30.
I think
Yeah.
17.
It was Secret Mountain.
Oh, I think you're right.
So many good bands. I think they were all. I think it was like a 5-band bill.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, EJ plays way more shows than Shark Club does. You've probably played over 100 shows, but you remember the specifics of almost every one, right? Like you remember the first time you meet people. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is so weird. It's just that like you play so many, and then a lot of them stick out to you. And also like if you meet homies at them, you're like, why would you forget it?
For sure, for sure. Well, I remember before we got to play a show with you, and we first started Shark Club. I was a really big fan of that YouTube channel, My Parents' Basement Sessions,
Yeah, that's
run by our buddy Polo.
Polo, yeah.
And I would watch that, and my dream would be to just be featured on that. And then fast forward a couple months, and Jake and I went and visited him at his house, and he recorded My Parents' Basement Session. We were so stoked, and we're waiting each week to see if we'd go on. And I think it was either the week before we went, our video was shared, or the week after we recorded. This band Elephant Jake had a video on there, and it was so good, and you guys are so talented that it made us question whether or not we wanted our session shared
Get
because
out of here, you guys.
it wasn't anywhere as good as your guys. You did Sebastian Bauer, and it blew us away, and we were like, oh my god, these guys are so sick, it'd be so cool to share a bill with them someday. And then fast forward, and that happened. Yeah, super cool.
It's so such a small world. Like you see videos on YouTube, and you see other people, and like you don't know them or anything, and then you just become homies with them. It's such a small world.
Yeah, well, we went from admiring you guys, playing a show with you guys, to all of a sudden you invited us to be part of a split
That
with
was
another
dope.
great band, Stand Wave. It was so much fun, and we were so honored that you think of us.
Oh, thank you for doing it. That's what holds up. I remember we played this show in it was in Philly, but I forgot where exactly it was. Maybe the Lizard Lounge or something. And I remember I really wanted you guys to play Mr. Jones, and you did.
Oh yeah, I remember that because nobody comes up to me and has requests, and you asked if we could do that, which was so sweet because you said that you and your partner. It meant a lot to you, which was really sweet of you to say. And I was more than happy to
I love
play it.
that song.
Thank you. If you are playing a show and you want to play like a deep cut from your first album and you don't remember how to play it, how do you listen to it and then kind of remember how you did it, or is that how it goes?
Yeah, sometimes like we were playing a show in Richmond, Virginia in our tour in January, which is crazy that it was even in 2020 before everything. But my friend Ariel that I went to college with, she moved to Richmond, and she asked us to play a song called I'll Try Again off of our record Classic. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And she had she's like, can you play this song called I'll Try Again? And I said, yeah, we'll do that for you. And then I told the guys, I was like, hey, can we play this? And we were all like, I guess. We had to listen to it in the car like 5 times. And I was like, and we all had to be like, everybody stop talking. Put it up and then remember it. Because we'll remember like what the chords are. But it's usually like we know how to play the songs, but sometimes it's the structure that is sometimes the problem.
Mm-hmm. The little nuances and flares and stuff like that.
Yeah, and especially like verse, chorus, like where's what.
Mhm.
Things like that, or how many times this happens, whatever.
And as difficult as it was probably for you guys to remember yourself how to play it, remind yourselves how to play it, you felt like you needed to fulfill the responsibility of giving your friend what they wanted. Because it's so sweet that they like that one song so much that they felt like they needed to ask you to play it.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. We rarely say no, unless
Yeah.
it's a song that we absolutely do not know how to play.
Yeah.
You know?
You mentioned Richmond, and that reminded me of a topic I wanted to bring up. Because we played a show in Richmond once.
Mhm.
It was a great show. It was a lot of fun. We met some really, really nice people. But it was a late night, and we were all really tired, and we had a long drive ahead of us. And someone said, we want to take you guys to Cookout, this restaurant Cookout.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And we didn't know what it was, but the people there were like, we took Elephant Jake. They loved it. And we were like, we don't know. We're so tired. But we were also kind of hungry, so we're like, all right, we'll go. And not going would have been the greatest mistake of our life.
I know. It's the best place ever. The $5 tray, and then you
Yes.
get a milkshake.
Yes. Oh my God.
Could you enlighten the listeners, the viewers here who don't know about Cookout? We would have never known about Cookout if we didn't go to Richmond, Virginia. I think it's only a
I wonder
southern
if
chain.
it might have been this person Noah and this band Eves, or this guy Micah.
Yeah, Micah. It was his
Yeah.
house that we played.
Oh, get out of here! The Dan Ray house. We
Mm.
played that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
I think we came like a week or so after you guys because they were
Yeah.
still so stoked on you guys.
Oh, that is so nice.
Yeah.
I'm very happy you went, because Cookout is by far the greatest place I've ever been in my life. I would eat
Yeah.
every day if I could.
Me too.
I'd probably gain 10 pounds in like 3 days, but it is unbelievable. Okay, so this place is called Cookout. For like $5, you can get a tray where you get one main thing, like a burger or a chicken sandwich or whatever, and then you get 2 sides. It can be hush puppies, French fries, onion rings, whatever. And then
They got chicken nuggets as sides.
Really?
That's what stood out to me. Chicken nuggets they're just a side to these people.
Yeah, it's just like we have everything else at the wedding.
I had corn dogs as a side, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And you could get, I don't know if you had the soda called cheer wine.
Mm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy.
So good. That, or you can get a milkshake just to add $1 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I if you don't go to Cookout at least once in your life, I think you have a serious issue at hand.
It was so good. I remember the guy I paid, and he's like, do you want a receipt? And I said yes, only so I could keep it and show it to all my friends at school.
Oh,
He's like, you guys will never believe the bargain meal I had. But it was so good. Yeah, it was so tasty. And I wasn't even that hungry, but I felt guilty that I needed to eat all of it because it was so good and so cheap. And it was good company too. Like those kids down in Richmond were so sweet to us. And
Shout out to Micah.
Shout out to Micah. There's another fella, and I only know him from his screen name because that's how I've been contacting with him. But I want to mention his full name here. And
John Bourne.
John Bourne! How could I forget that? Such a sweet guy.
Easy, John Bourne.
We played there once, years ago, and we still keep in touch with these people. What's your favorite place that you've played, whether it be an actual venue or a house? Because you guys, have you done like full country like tours?
We've done half.
That's awesome.
Thanks. We've done half. I think probably like 26 or 27 states, and then a couple shows in Canada. But they were like bar shows and stuff up there, and like restaurant shows and stuff. So they didn't really particularly stick out to me.
Yeah.
I would say there's so many places that stick out to me, but there was a show house in Kenosha, Wisconsin called the Holiday Village Dungeon, and that show was crazy. I loved it there.
Was it just like the kids who were watching were really into it? The people who were running it were really, had their stuff together? What was it?
Yeah, they were really into it. And I remember then we went back a second year, and they did this this festival that was all day. And I remember there was this band called Grey Haven, and they were on tour with The Plot and You, and one of their shows fell through with The Plot and You, and it was supposed to be like a really big show or whatever. And they were like, "Yo, can we play this fest?" I don't know if they asked or the house venue asked, but they ended up playing, and like it was just ridiculous.
That's so cool. And what's like the biggest band you've shared a bill with, do you think? I'm trying to think for us, Eric. I think it was when we opened for Oso Oso. You know that?
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
either Oso Oso or Mom Jeans, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you opened for Mom Jeans?
Yeah, like 4 years ago. And at have you ever heard of the Pharmacy in Philly?
Yeah.
There.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was wild. It was like 4 years ago. I think Best Buds was like 6 months out or something.
That's awesome.
Did you guys in Elephant Jake, like, how did you guys form? Did you grow up together? Did you go to the same school?
So we all didn't go to the same high school. Colin and Kyle did, but we all went to this thing. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's kind of like a rock camp. It's like your parents pay money, and for 2 weeks in the summertime, you do this program where they put you together in bands with other people, and then at the end you play a show at this really cool place called the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie, New York. And I got put in a band with Colin and Kyle, and
Destiny.
yeah, I played drums, Kyle played guitar, and Colin played bass. So all different than what we're doing.
Wow, that's quite a change up.
Yeah, it's a super change up. And I was playing playing drums and singing in this punk band when I was like a kid, like 14, 13. And our bass player had to go away to Peru to visit his family. So my drum teacher, Dave, back then, he was like, "Yo, you should ask Colin to fill in." And I was like, "Okay." So we did. And then Colin and I were just like, "Screw it, let's just write our own songs." So we started doing that. And then Andrew also went to that rock camp. So when our original drummer of Elephant Jake left, we said, "Hey, Andrew, why don't you come play?" And he said, "Okay." He was filling in for a while. And then he was like, "So what are we doing here?" It's kind of like if you're like kind of dating somebody. He's like, "So what are we?"
Time for the talk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "We should do this." And he said, "Okay." And then later on, we added Kyle, and we all knew each other because we all went to that same program for a really long time, and it just worked.
That's so cool. And not only did it work, each of you are so talented and good at your respective instruments. And it sounds like you're good at all the other instruments too, if you guys started elsewhere. That's really cool though. So, and how long has it been that you guys have been making music?
Wow. Colin and I started making covers and writing songs together in 2014, so 6 years ago. Then we had an original drummer that played with us all through 2015. Then Andrew came at the end of 2015. And this current lineup of the four of us is about since 2016, about 4 years even.
Wow.
Time flies, huh?
Oh, yeah.
When you guys, oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. When you guys, you form Elephant Jake, and then the next step, you record some music, but then you want to play some shows. We all know how it starts. You start reaching out to people, asking if you could come and play. I think you guys have been able to make a name for yourselves. What's the percentage of you guys requesting to play somewhere and other people reaching out to you?
Oh, wow. Gosh, I don't know. I know in the beginning, like, it was really, really hard. I remember, like...
Yeah, it's hard to get your foot in the door.
Oh, yeah. When we first started booking shows, it was like, you could send 30 emails or 30 messages, and maybe you'll hear back from 2, and one will most certainly be a no. So, I don't know. I feel like over the years, like, people have access to play shows. Sometimes we're still asking a lot. Like, we love to do that. Like, we love to just like, always try and play anywhere we can. So if it's a new place or someone we don't know, we'll always be like, hey, can we play this show? And sometimes they'll say yes, and sometimes they're like, oh, we have a show booked, or no, or, you know. I wouldn't even be offended if they were like, no, your band fucking sucks. Ooh, sorry, sorry, I'm not supposed to curse.
It's the internet. Let it fly.
Yeah, go for it.
But, yeah, I don't know. People ask us to play shows sometimes, and unfortunately, because we all live in different cities, we can't always say yes. Sometimes we have to say no, especially like when we were all in school or working, and it was like on a Wednesday night in a city that none of us live in. something like that. It's unfortunate that you have to say no sometimes, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when like half of you can play and then the other half can't, do you find a way to like do an acoustic set, or do you only like playing when you're all together?
sometimes we play acoustic sets, and sometimes we play as a 3-piece or whatever we have to do. We have a friend. His name is Ian O'Neill. Goes by Yen Dog. He plays in a bunch of bands: Furnace Creek, Gus Dapperton, and Wooden Fork. And he's a super talented dude, and we all grew up with him. And he just is such a really talented musician and knows all the Elephant Jake songs. So sometimes if only Andrew and I can make a show, we'll ask him, "Hey man, can you play bass?" We played Flood City Fest in Pennsylvania in 2019, and he played bass for us, and it was just a 3-piece. And sometimes we do that. We like to play songs off Dookie. It's so much fun. Andrew, Ian, and myself are going to cover Dookie in its entirety at whenever show we can do it. Which is
If only James Gandolfini were still alive to see that, he'd love it.
That would be so amazing. Rest in peace. But yeah, sometimes we have people fill in. Pete from Stanaway fills in sometimes. Sometimes we just can't do it, and sometimes we do an acoustic set.
I remember one summer I was living up in Connecticut for an internship, and Shark Club was getting a bunch of show offers, and the guys were like, "We want to play these," and I was like, "Yeah, go for it." But they needed somebody else to fill in, so our good friend Tim filled in, and I guess the shows rocked. And we're in Tim's house right now, by the way. He's
Very
been
cool.
so nice to host us. And that's why this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Tim's Room. Tim's Room. If you want a cool place to hang out, vibe, maybe record some music, play some Euro Trucker,
Start a
Tim's-
podcast.
Tim's is the place to be.
That's it.
Should we give the address?
Yeah. Give a address. I have a social security number too.
30 number.
Yeah. Tim, give us a wave for the viewers on the internet.
I can be.
He's in my. Yeah.
Oh, look at that double camera shot.
Wait, are you two in the same house?
We should have said that.
We're doing a Joe Rogan thing.
Oh, get out of here! I thought you two were in separate places. I was thinking, wait, why are both?
We're trying to practice social distancing still. But yeah, today we happen to be in the same spot. Yeah.
Thinking, like, I realized, wow, both of the rooms are the exact same color.
And you know why? Because that's Tim's house, the perfect place
To be.
to do this stuff. Tim's house.
I never told you this, but I have to tell you that very often I listen to your cover of Josie.
Oh, cool! Thanks.
So good.
Thanks. That's really sweet.
So sick with the basketball too.
I was putting that together, and I'm like, I don't know. This is supposed to be funny, and I don't know if it will be. But some people told me, "Oh yeah," I smiled, so that's fine.
I exhaled through my nostrils.
Dude, I recorded it last night. I made a cover for Cher's "Believe."
Oh my gosh, I love that song.
Yeah, it actually came out pretty good. I'll send it to you.
This is new to me. I didn't even hear about this yet, so I'm excited.
I sent it to David and not you. Is that bad? Well, I sent it to David because I needed mixing advice.
I see how it is. No, it's okay. No, it's fine.
I'd love to get in to your new EP,
Let's do it.
which is so good. Eric's repping the merch.
I got this at the last show of yours that I went to, probably before everything shut down in like February, I think, in Luigi's Mansion in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Looking Good, Feeling Good, that new EP that you guys just dropped a few weeks ago at the point of us recording this? I don't know when this is going to be released, but
I don't know either. It's out there in the
so
ether.
we'll just say a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So it's just called Looking Good, Feeling Good. I can't remember which one of us, definitely wasn't me, which one of us made it the title, but
Do you remember where that phrase came from, though?
I don't remember which one of us started saying it or what. I honestly have no idea. Maybe I was saying at a show, hey, is everybody, I don't know. It probably definitely wasn't me. I have no idea. But all I know is, hey, dude, thanks for coming. The last one was all Andrew because he used to go up to people after shows and say, hey, dude, thanks for coming. So if anybody made it up, it's probably him. I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it's 4 songs. 2 songs are sung by me, and then 2 songs are sung by Colin, who writes and sings about half the songs in Elephant Jake alongside me. And it's just 4 songs. About last year, July of 2019, we spent a week at Berklee College of Music, where Andrew goes, and we recorded the whole thing there, and it was a lot of fun. We stayed there for about a week in the summertime, and only could do sessions from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. or 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Ridiculous hours. But we would like go there and record. Kind of like a similar vein to when we all record at Drexel and stuff. Super similar to that. And we recorded those 4 songs. I had a song, Shipment Only Knifing, that I wrote maybe a couple of years ago, and we've been playing it live and stuff, so we figured put it on an EP. Colin has had 2 songs that he didn't have titles for, so we just named one Looking Good and then one Feeling Good. And then we had a song, The Time I Brought You Soup, which is a song that I wrote with an old friend when I was maybe 16 or 17 in this old folk punk like side project that I have. There's a version of that song on Bandcamp, but it's like really old, and it's like just like an old recording of me and another friend. And I asked him, I said, "Hey Zach, can we use this song for Elephant Jake?" And he was like, "Yeah," because we just needed a 4th song.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. We just needed a 4th song, and we couldn't figure out which one we were going to use or anything. So we were all talking about it, and they were like, "Oh, I like this song that you wrote with Zach." And I was like, kind of felt a little strange about it at first, because I was like, well, it's kind of like, it's old, and like we also didn't write it together. Is that allowed? You know what I mean?
Sure.
But then I was like, who says it's not allowed? What does that even mean? I wrote the song. It doesn't matter.
Rock and roll has no rules.
That's right.
No boundaries.
None.
So, I mean, when we as in Shark Club get ready to record something,
Oh yeah.
in our case, we always have like a million songs in the vault because we're always writing. It seemed like from what you were saying, you guys were just kind of pulling stuff together. But do you have more kind of just in the vault at all times?
Oh yeah, we always have stuff in the vault. We put out, because after we put out "Hey Dude, Thanks for Coming," our last full length, we were like, all right, it's been about a year since we put something out. We got to put something out, and we noticed that like we really had a thing for 4-song EPs. Like we were listening to like Origami Angel and stuff like that, and we were like, okay, I feel like 4 is an amount that I would personally be able to digest.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if there's like 40 songs on a record, I mean, that's an exaggeration. I'd be like, oh God, I don't even know where to begin. But I felt like 4 was an attainable amount. And we still have a lot of songs still in the vault. I've been recording some stuff by myself. We are all writing songs for Elephant Jake and stuff. Still songs there, but yeah, I had songs that I wrote specifically for Elephant Jake that didn't do it. But then that song, "The Time I Brought You Soup," that's really old. That did do it. So it was kind of like a, let's take one from here. Colin's got one here.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you guys fully self-produce that, or did you work with a friend over at Berklee when you were putting it together?
One of Andrew's his friends and one of his old roommates from Berklee. His name is Chris Peterson. He did everything. He tracked it, mixed it, mastered it, and we had a couple of other friends. His friend Skylar Bennett. She helped track a little bit, and his other friend Sam. But it was really Chris was really like the main guy, and another guy, Ryan Galloway, did some tracking like at the end, like a little piecing here and there. It was really Chris tracked it, mixed it, mastered it. And he pretty much.
That's great. I mean, it sounds really good, and I was excited to hear. I mean, you guys keep evolving with every release, as most artists do, but I heard it so much, I guess even compositional-wise on this last release. Like, you guys took it in a direction. You had some really cool musical interludes.
Thank
you. Were those intentional, or were you guys kind of just jamming it out in the studio, and you're like, oh, it'd be cool to add this in the track?
So they all were intentional, especially "The Time I Brought You Soup." When that song, when I wrote it with my other friend Zach, like a bunch of years ago, it was just like a straightforward like pop punk bridge that wasn't an interlude or anything. And I brought the song to Elephant Jake after they were like, oh, we should use this song. And we did. And they were like, okay, I really like this song except for the bridge. We should just make it a big jammy section. So that was all like calculated, and we counted and everything, and we wrote it all out together. But in the studio, we added like a bunch of effects to make it sound bigger, and we made sure we counted and counted. But all the interludes were pretty much all intentional. No like spontaneous jamming and ideas forming in the studio. It was written out.
You guys are so cool. There's piano on one of Colin's songs.
Sure.
And when you think of we should put piano on this track, do you worry about how do we play this live, or do you say we're in the studio, we're making a piece of art that anyone can always go back to, we'll figure that out later?
That's a really good question. Colin is just a super talented piano player, and when he wrote that song, he wrote the whole song on the piano, and then he brought it to Elephant Jake and was like, here's a song called Looking Good. I wrote it on the piano. And I was like, very sick. At least I think I'm remembering it right. Then we all learned all the parts that he wanted us to play on guitars and stuff, and bass and whatever, but he wanted to keep that bridge all piano. So when we were playing it live, we had like a keyboard that we would plug in. We did a couple of tours where we bought a keyboard and set it up by Colin, and he would play it there, or I would play the keys, the lead part of one of our songs, Freshman 15. Or sometimes, if like our piano broke halfway through our tour in January, so he adapted that interlude bridge to like some arpeggiated stuff on the guitar, and we ended up playing that whole song without a piano. But yeah, I think Colin writes his songs and then worries about it later. He's like, okay, so we got to find a piano, or I can just transcribe it to this guitar.
Yeah, that's cool. I have to ask you, that tapping part on the first track is so sick.
Oh, thanks.
I'm always looking for the best, I guess you could say, tone for tapping. I've always heard people say, you want to boost the gain. What's your outlook on it? What kind of tech specs could you provide?
That's all Colin. So
yeah,
we wrote that bridge of Shipment Only Knifing. I had a bridge that was just like straight eighth notes, like da na 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 na, and then Andrew was like, no, that's whack. It's got to be like this. Bow 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 down. And I was
sick.
Like, all right, we'll do that. So I did that, and then Colin put a little lead on it, and then he was tracking with Ryan Galloway. It's his partner's brother, and we went over there. Oh, sorry if you hear the barking.
Can we get the dog on camera? Unless that's not a dog, it's like your sibling or something.
No, it is. They're upstairs. I want them to come down. They're my partner Jackie's dogs.
Do they have anything to say?
What was I saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking about the tapping.
Yeah. So they stopped. Colin was tracking, and we showed up like a little bit after he was doing it, and when we came in there, he's like, "Oh, yo, do you like this lead I just added?" I was like, "Yeah." I don't know what he did there, how he did it. I honestly wish I could answer your question, but Colin is the lead master.
That's it. Why are we talking to you? We should be talking to Colin. He seems to have all the answers.
Very true.
No, I'm joking,
Very
dude.
true.
We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. He's unfortunately working.
Oh, dang. Do you guys all have, like, day jobs or careers on the side of when you do music?
Yeah, how do you guys keep busy through these strange times?
Oh, yeah. I know Andrew was going to Berkeley, and he was working at Newberry Comics in Boston. I'm not sure how it's going.
I love that place.
Oh, it's so sick. I don't know how it's going right now with Corona and stuff, but I'm a teacher aide at this high school, but I also don't know what's going on when it's reopening. They say September 1st, and they say September 10th. Now, I don't know. And Kyle is doing some interviews and stuff. He just graduated from Binghamton with neuroscience, so he's trying to do something.
Wow.
Whoa. He's the brains of the group.
Oh, yeah.
He went
What's the muscle?
He went from Buffalo Wild Wings to
You're right. He did. He's gonna figure out how to pick the brains of the chicken. He's going crazy. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we're all doing different things. We all live in different cities. I'm here in New York right now, and in Orange County. And Colin and Kyle's also here in the same area as me, like maybe within a 40-minute distance. Colin's in Binghamton, and Andrew's in Boston right now. So we're all in different places right now. But it's always been like that because we all went to different colleges and everything. So we're very much used to it, and we get together during breaks and summers and tour and write, always writing and bring it to each other. And it's not something new. It doesn't devastate me.
For sure. I mean, we're kind of all in the same boat. We're all pretty spread out in Char Club. And people always ask, is it a burden? Is it really difficult to get together and do music stuff? And the answer is always no, because it's something we all really enjoy to do. It's such a treat. One of us needs to drive 6 hours maybe to meet up with the rest, but it's because we're doing stuff that we really enjoy doing.
Big time.
How do you guys share musical ideas with each other when you're so far apart?
We've usually just been, I mean, since we even started, I mean, I'm 22 now, so since I was like 16 or 17 with Colin and Kyle and Andrew, we used to just use iPhone voice memos in a group chat, and I would be like, hey, what do you guys think of this new song? And then Colin and Kyle and Andrew would add their respective parts, and then when we were finally able to see each other, pretty much like, I would be like, oh, do you remember this song? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I got a part for it. And we would just play it or not, because sometimes it needs more work.
Cool.
That sounds very similar to how we do it.
I guess there's just a set way, and people just follow the formula.
Oh, yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, I think we're very lucky in that regard with just the technology we have. Like, I can't imagine people in the 70s or whatever. Well, they just jammed it out. They were all, like, real musicians back then. No offense to EJ. They're all real musicians, too.
Oh, they send cassette tapes in the mail, and they say that. Add a track.
Sal, when you're doing demos, it's all just voice memos. Do you get ideas for, like, how the drums and bass should sound? Do you ever put in, like, GarageBand or whatever?
No, not really. I usually, like for the time I brought you Super Song on our last EP, when we recorded it with my old friend Zach, I played guitar and drums, and then Colin played bass on that. And, like, when we were doing it with Elephant Jake, I was like, yo, Andrew, in the chorus, I kind of, like, feeling this type of feel. And, of course, he does the Andrew embellishments. Going crazy.
Yeah, he's so good.
But, yeah, other than that, he's, sometimes I give ideas, and sometimes Andrew gives me ideas, sometimes Colin gives me ideas. It's because I think all of us play the other one's instrument, too. So, like, sometimes I'll play a part, and then Kyle or Andrew will be like, nah, dude, play like this. Or Andrew will do a drum part, and I'll be like, oh, what if you took out this, but you added this? And then whatever. It's kind of like, we all can depend on each other and trust each other to make cool parts, but sometimes like, you're like, no, do this, or no, you should do this, or we all do this, or I don't know.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think collaboration is really important in that regard.
Yeah, I have to agree. But it's never like written out or programmed into like GarageBand or anything. It's usually just like Andrew just taking my guitar, or me just going on the drum set and being like, what about this? And then Andrew's like, what about this?
I was surprised you just said that you were 22 now. How old were you when you started doing those kind of lengthy tours?
We went on our first tour like 2 days after we graduated high school. So
Cool.
Thanks. So 18. Andrew was going to be, he's a year younger than me. He was going to be a senior in high school. So we did like a couple-week tour, and like he was still not even a senior in high school, but he was always so stoked about it.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, imagine touring, not all summer, but a good chunk of it, and then just going back to high school, and you're like, I'm the coolest kid here.
Like, what's up?
People were cheering my name.
That's so awesome. He's so cool.
I mean, it's really tricky now dealing with the pandemic. It's really difficult to plan ahead.
Yeah.
But like, do you have stuff for Elephant Jake lined up? Do you have aspirations, hopes, and dreams? Like, what's going to happen next? Do you think? Or are you guys still trying to navigate, being in different states and cities essentially?
We're still trying to navigate it. Right now, we're trying to like get press and stuff for the new EP, and we want to tour, but I feel like we just can't plan it now, because like you never know. I feel like we're never gonna know until there's a vaccine or until it's 100% safe. So right now, I've just been trying to write, record, trying to get like life stuff together, pay back student loans, things like that.
For sure.
And I know we're all doing that, all in the same boat, trying to like get some stuff together and like make it an organizational time period for ourselves, as opposed to, oh, when are we going to go on tour next? When are we going to do this? I think now we want to focus on like really promoting what we have out, and how we can help other people, and how we can, I don't know, I don't know, and write more songs, get them together, stuff like that.
What do you guys think like the future of shows is going to look like, whether it's the next couple of months or even the next couple of years? Because I don't think we're ever going to flip a switch and things will be back to normal. Somebody emailed me this past week asking if I wanted to play a show. And I was just immediately like, we're not playing in-person shows right now. And then I saw that they posted the show was happening, and it was in a park, and the people performing were far away, and they turned the camera around, and everybody was pretty spaced out, which is really good to see.
Sure.
But what do you think? What do you guys think this, I guess, new way of going to shows is going to look like for the time being?
You know, I'm like very conflicted about it because half of me is like, I know that a switch will never be flipped and everything will be back to normal. But then the other half of me is like, when it's safe to go, don't you feel like everybody is just going to be rushing to go to a show?
Yeah.
So I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I don't know like how house shows are going to be. Like, if there's always going to be like a permanent cap, or if you want to go to like a legitimate show, like at a venue or something. I mean, they're all legitimate shows, but I mean like a show that like has professionally run, like security or ticket sales or anything. If like, do you have to? How do you even prove? Do you have to like carry around a piece of paper signed by a doctor that says I have been vaccinated? How does it work? I have no idea. So I don't know. Half of me thinks that it's going to be pretty troubled for a little while, but then the other part of me is like, once once it's safe to go to shows, I want to go, but also I'm gonna be a bit nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's, at least when it comes to house shows, I think the people either running those shows or even the artists themselves who are invited really need to be responsible about whether they're ready and if it's worth congregating in a really small, tight basement with everybody and playing that show at that time. But I think people hopefully will be smart about it. It's just you got to be overly cautious in these situations. Eric, how do you feel about like those drive-in shows? Would you go? I think I would.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I don't think there's anything like really in our direct area, but yeah, I'd be down. Whether it be movies or shows, I'm down to go see something.
Well, EJ's been playing some like I don't want to call it webcam shows because that sounds.
Make sure you check out Elephant Jake's OnlyFans after this.
But like you do like Facebook Lives and stuff, or you take over people's Instagrams. How has that been for you guys? I mean, you don't get the instant gratification of like an audience like cheering after every song and getting to meet people, but you're still getting to perform and share your music with people. What's that like?
It's definitely not the same, but also like it's really nice because you know how it's really nice because like if you play a show in a particular area, people from that area will be there. So I think if you do like a live show and then randomly somebody from like Chicago will comment and be like, "Hey, cool stuff," I'm like, "Oh wow, that's a really nice. Like I didn't expect you to be on this." I feel like it's very much like a kind of like a gamble of who will watch and also people you didn't expect to watch. I don't know. It's nice. It's definitely not the same. But I think it's as close as we can get to something else right now.
Sure. And I mean, nothing's stopping you from recording those sessions and then even sharing them on your personal YouTubes. Like, the more content, the better, especially in times like these, right?
Yeah. What about you guys? What's up in the Shark Club life?
We're just chilling, man. We've been trying to record a new album for like the past 2 years. Just
yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, everyone's so busy that for a good period of time, we could only meet up one day on weekends. So we congregate in Philadelphia and record at Drexel one day out of the week with our buddy Ethan Farmer.
Ethan Farmer.
He's so cool. But unfortunately, we were a couple months in, and then something happened to his hard drive, and we had to start from scratch, which is no big deal. You can't cry over spilled milk. And we're getting way better results this time around than the others, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And then once the pandemic hit, that of course drastically slowed things down. So we've been trying to mix over Zoom and stuff, slowly chip away at it.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, like you, just getting life stuff together and finding time to do the music stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a very organizational period, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully sometime in the not too distant future, we can either play a show together, or at least meet up in a friendly, non-music context. Because, like I said, you guys are so much fun. Or maybe we can even get like Colin or Andrew or Kyle on, either individually, or you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Well, we have to get Colin now that we discovered he's the true genius behind the band.
Yeah, he is. He's like he knows a lot about music, especially theory.
Do you know a lot of theory, or are you kind of a lot self-taught?
I would say I took like a lot of classes like in college and high school and did a lot of programs for theory and stuff. I would say like I know enough, but Colin knows more.
Yeah. We were talking about, we had our drummer David on an episode, and we had a really interesting conversation about like, we don't know if it kind of helps or harms you more to know more music theory. Because like I know that stuff a little bit, but our other singer-songwriter Jake doesn't know any of it. And so when he picks up his guitar, he doesn't go into it knowing any rules to kind of trap him in certain parameters. So he'll just play a chord, and even if it's not in the key, if it sounds good, it doesn't matter to him.
Right.
What do you think about that?
See, I think like it can help and harm, because if you go there and it helps you, like if you have a part in a song where you don't know what to do and you know theory, you're like, okay, maybe I could do this. But also it can inhibit you, I think, in a way where you're like, you feel like you might be trapped.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they both have qualities, pros and cons, obviously, just like everything. But I don't know. I guess it depends what you're doing. I guess if you were like a serious jazz musician, then you would have to know it. But I don't know. I feel like if you're writing songs that make you feel good and they sound good, then it's good.
Well said. Very well said.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you again.
So good to see you too. Hopefully I can see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Hang out. Or hopefully one day we can play a show again.
That's the dream.
That is the dream. Thank you so much to Sal from Elephant Jake for taking the time to speak with us. It was so good to see him and talk to him. He's such a nice guy. All of the Elephant Jake folks are good people.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get to talk to some of them on here soon.
Yeah, sounds like they all would have really interesting things to say as well. Especially Colin. What song from Looking Good, Feeling Good should we leave the people with?
I think was it something Shipman Knife?
You think
What was
so?
that one called?
Yeah, Shipman Only Knifing.
That's the one that I've been hearing them play live for a while now. I like that one a lot.
Cool. Yeah.
Shipman Only Knifing, right? Yeah, Shipman Only Knifing. Yeah, we should end off with that one.
All right, without further ado, we'll leave you with Shipman Only Knifing by Elephant Jake off of their new EP, Looking Good, Feeling Good. Thank you again to Sal for joining us. And come back soon to Soundtown.
Yep. Stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? But this is pertinent, I can't get it out of listen for just another minute, well, maybe I'd have such a better time. Got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you? Who's got it better? Who's got it better than you?